Hello and welcome to another episode of Goa365's Face to Face. Now, as days go by, as time goes by, there are a lot of issues that the common citizen, the common Goan faces, be it with roads, be it with electricity, LPG, lights, water, regularly, buses. Now, many of them really don't know how to go about it, what to do, what not to do. They're just frustrated, pessimistic, they are like, so, array, nobody listens to us and all. But there is one person that I have seen over the years in this field who has been taking up these issues on a regular basis, on and off, and for the people, for the general public, the general Goans to find out whether it works, it doesn't work, and his journey along this path, which is not strewn with roses but only with stones and gravel and whatever, is Roland Martins. Roland Bab, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
You have been doing a tremendous job. You have been helping so many people. So I want to know, what is your journey like? How you got into this? What is your journey been like?
Yeah.
What are the things which you have gone through? Like we just covered a story of yours the other day.
Yes.
And you had to open an umbrella in the bus and all. Give us a general.
So thank you for having me on the show. Actually, I wasn't really involved in consumer issues initially. But years ago, when we were, known as activists and with tourism and all these issues, some of the lecturers in MAPSA, they started saying, we are facing problem with LPG cylinders. And I said to them, what exactly is LPG cylinder? What is the problem? No, we are, we don't get home delivery of gas. So I said, okay, I'll try and find out. So I went down to the showroom, and when I went there and saw what was going on, it really shook me. And I realized that here is a service which actually you are supposed to get a delivery of the gas cylinder at your house. You have a gas book, everything is there, but they did not have it in their hand. And that campaign, till today, we call it the flagship campaign, LPG cylinders. We started in MAPSA, and today I can tell you confidently, across Goa, we got home delivery with a systematic awareness campaign. And today, of course, the challenges are different in LPG. Today they are removing gas, putting water, they are doing so many things. And of course, that continues in consumer awareness. But I began to realize one thing clearly, that people have not realized that they have rights and they have responsibilities. So over the years, one of the things that I kept on saying is we need to be consumer literate. So many people say, consumer literate means what? I said, see, some people are double graduates, double MAs, BAs, whatever. I said, we say we know to read and we know to write. But I said, do we know to read our rights and do we know to write our complaints? So I said, if we start this campaign of getting people to read their rights, it's a very simple thing. You go into a bus, you say, reserve seat for ladies. Now, this is not because he has got some extra paint that he has written it. It is a mandated thing. And by law, here it has to be ensured. Now, this campaign has to be first of people understanding all these signages. So I say no smoking or no parking. It means that there is some authority who has to enforce that. Now, what has been the problem? Enforcement has been weak. So when we started the campaign initially, we felt, okay, consumer guidance, all that is fine, but we needed to give a sort of a positive message. So in 2002, with the various people that were in touch with, said, why don't we have a network? We can meet regularly, but let's give it a name. So the acronym became GOACAN. It's the Goa Civic and Consumer Action Network. So the reason for that acronym was because if you ask anybody,
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Goa cannot.
But it's daunting.
Exactly.
It's daunting.
Yes.
Because you enter a government office, they will look at you like, who is this worm who has come out from the woodwork? It's very daunting.
Yes, and actually, personality wise, the average Goan, he doesn't engage, he doesn't fight.
Things are changing, cool. But in North,
people are becoming now people used to be very cool and okay. They used to come. So slowly, from LPG, through the LPG campaign, we began to realize that the cylinder may be right in front of your house. in your house, in your kitchen, but you may have not looked at it carefully. So we just started taking the cylinder around and asked people, do you know the weight of the cylinder? Do you know there's an expiry date on it? Do you know that you can get 40 lakhs insurance on this cylinder? Sorry, we don't know. So we said, okay, now start the process. Oh, so we started with LPG, then we went to telephones, we went to water supply, electricity, and over the years we did the campaign. Then many of the volunteers started saying, but people are growing old. So what about the youngsters? So in 2006 we launched a campaign called Young Civic and Consumer Movement, and we started going to schools, colleges, say,
awareness.
Yeah, awareness. Do you have a club? So what club? She said there's a mandated thing that you should have a club.
Really?
Yeah.
In schools?
Yes.
Compulsory?
Yeah, not compulsory, but you can set it up.
Okay.
Government of India is saying that you should have it.
Sure.
So we went to the department, Consumer Affairs department. We saw there was a list there, but if you have a list of schools and club will not. So we started going. So heads of institutions first were saying, no, you meet that teacher. And I said, but sir, you are also a consumer. Do you know what you guess? So they said, yeah. So I said, why don't you come? We'll have a session. So very interestingly, over the last 15 years, we set up 135 consumer clubs.
Wow.
They're in schools, high secondary and colleges. And we told them, see, if you do something, government will give you grants, whatever, and you're able to sustain. So slowly we approached the department. Giving them some financial support has been a bit irregular. But one thing we found, that in the campus, students were excited to know that there's something like consumer awareness. The Jago Grahak Jago is a slogan. But when it starts, like, you show them about their bus, that when they go to the bus stand and they buy a soft drink, somebody says, you pay 2 rupees extra because I kept it in the fridge. Actually, there's a fine of 700 rupees and now it is 2,100 rupees if you charge him 2 rupees extra.
Really?
Yeah. So we realized that the Legal Metrology Act, the FDA, people didn't know about this. So we created little slips. We used to stand at the bus stand and give. And I met many people recently who said, sir, माझ्या person अजून असा dola and got to dola. So then I realized one thing, that see, information is the key.
Absolutely.
And one thing we found with the media, that media was also highlighting stories. It's not that media has never written about consumer issues, but that connect was not happening. Like to take the media story and show it to the government officer and say, Baba, boss, this has come. Why are you not acting? So over the years, we found that things were improving, and we did share with the media. Media has written about it, but we wanted it to expand to more people. And that is why now we are concentrating in the recent few years now. What we have done is telling more people about various other issues. Like for example, going to like JERC, when they have the public hearings, trying to take people to these hearings, be there, open your eyes and speak.
Right. Basically, we have to
and
do
we
something.
keep saying it's an R&R. So many people say, oh, rest and recreation. I said no. R&R is rights and responsibilities. So you must take the responsibility of complaining. See, you cannot grumble and stop there. You have to complain. So when we say complain, we say use the complaint system that is there. Of course, it must be improved. It must be online, everything fine. But today there are complaint books. See, people do not realize that each of these complaint books have their own value. And
action is taken.
Yes. Secondly, how the government system works. If it's not used, they will shut it down. Very simple. So during COVID, for example, and even now I will tell you, how many BSNL telephone lines do not exist. You go to transport department, you will see the official government directory. There are 12 landlines there. But many of them don't exist anymore.
Are you serious?
Yes. Because they were cut in 2018. They don't exist. Now, of course, there is a system where there's portability. You can go for fiber optic. But that is this thing has to be done. But what people say, "Are phone matta, kaun ubalna mare?" Useless. But there is no phone only there. What is he? He is not even able to listen to you. So over this period of time, we started to realize that there are certain areas people need more information. So we created slips like FDA and legal metrology. These are two things, and this time we went in a big way. We got them to print literature. We say, you print your leaflet, we'll distribute. Because we don't have the finance, it's all a volunteer campaign.
Of course.
But it's very important for people to know. And then what happened in 2003, the department through the then assistant director, Mr. Ashutosh Apte, he said, you all are council members, why don't you all, take initiative? I said, we'll have a consumer conciliation committee. So consumer conciliation committee was set up, Ma'am Amita Salatri and myself and the assistant director. It meets on every first and third Thursday.
Okay.
So if
still going on?
Yes, yes. So anybody.
But Apte is in
no, he's not. He moved off.
I think now he's in collectorate, right?
He moved beyond that also.
I see.
But this committee hears matters on every first and third Thursday at 3 o'clock.
I see.
And there is no money to be paid. Before you would go to the consumer court or whatever, or any other court, you write. Maybe the opposite party will listen to you and settle it, So recently we have encouraged people also to write where they find deficiency in department functioning. And we have seen improvement.
It's come?
Yeah. We had a lawyer from Arpur and Nagwa. He had taken the initiative to ask for 3 speed breakers. Out of the 3, 2 are fixed, and the one near his house they did not fix. So he filed in conciliation committee. We served notice to the department people. They turned up and they said, well, why this discrimination? In 8 days, literally at 10 o'clock in the night, the jet packer came, went and set up the speed breaker.
See, but in Goa, we find that people don't actually stand up for their rights. See, I'll tell you, like abroad, if they find something, people complain. They stand in line, people complain. Here, you break the line, people don't complain. Is that something you all have found?
Yeah, see,
people get scared or what?
No, it's just that, what has happened abroad, the awareness levels are very high at school. In school, they have already developed this culture of, you stand in line. If you have a queue system, you will get the benefit in time. If you complain as per the procedure. So over a period of time, let's say one person got a negative response. There is a tendency he would tell more people, "Arey, itne jao chhe na." Now, instead of actually trying, we say, "Oh, teka jao chhe na, makai jao chhe na." And here we have this thing that 10 people's signatures should be collected. We said the power of one. The Consumer Protection Act honors you individually as a consumer. So why not you address your problem, write about it. You see, you may get not a solution overnight, but at some point in time there may be an improvement, and you are not getting a solution because of the grey areas in the law. In fact, in many of the hearings now we have found many grey areas, so we are putting it together, and every time we meet with the collector for these council meetings, we bring it up. Now, we must have got at least 75 cases on EV bikes.
I see.
Yeah, 75 cases.
The batteries.
Batteries are gone. Because these batteries are coming from China with a label made in India. So they have conked. And without a battery, you can't run.
Yeah, that thing is all about batteries.
Now the whole question is which department? Transport says it doesn't come under us. If it's less than 250 cc, it doesn't come under renewable energy. So it's like a grey area.
It comes under whom?
Nobody. So we just raised the matter to the collector. We said, please put it before law department. Because what is happening here, see, if a retailer is in a problem with the manufacturer, he folds up. There's nobody.
Nobody is there.
So over this thing, we have realized there are newer matters coming up. And this new act, that is 2019, we had a Consumer Protection Act in 1986. Now it's amended and we have the new act of 2019. It covers all the e-commerce sites.
I see. That time nothing. 80,
yeah,
nothing
80, yeah. And it also has more authority. There's a CCPA, Central Consumer Protection Authority, which is also taking suo moto matters, especially the websites and all that. So all in all, no, the point is that there are huge opportunities to bring change. However, it has to percolate down. So we are now to the panchayats, we are saying, create awareness. You have a amenities committee. Now actually this is there in the act.
I see.
Panchayat Act. 3 members, elected members, can form what they call an amenities committee.
I see.
And amenities committee can call the junior engineer. Say, Baba, why not improve?
But I don't think the panchayats have and do they have anything like
now recently when the training was done through GPAD and all that, we started saying, so some of them have formed. And we are hoping we get a sizable number so there can be a training for them.
Okay, one thing I would like to say also now, Also, people here get scared, right? That some departments will yell at you, and then the MLA immediately gets if there's a toilet not working, if you complain, the MLA gets involved. This is what people. But
Yeah.
I have seen when you make a complaint, people actually come and do the job.
Yes, yes. So
but that fear is there.
no,
Fear factor.
see, there are two things. One is that they feel if you complain, I will tell you, some of our volunteers, because of the consistent work there, on their LPG bill, they have VIP.
I see.
Literally put
It's
VIP.
the other way around
Yeah.
actually. If you
So-
complain,
so-
people don't interfere. with
Yeah,
you.
so it's a VIP. So one day we asked the staff fellow, VIP is what? He's a very irritating person. So it meant that the bile nale to dadlo kit. So give him service and he'll be happy and he will,
So it's the other way around.
Yeah,
That's what you're
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to say.
yes, yes,
You
yes.
have to complain. You have to come out.
Yeah, you come out, you say I'm not getting this, and if you don't do, I will go higher. So this is the message, and now we have launched a new campaign, which we call Seniors Can. The reason we are saying, see, we have a higher population of senior citizens in the state of Goa compared to the national average.
Yes.
So we are saying senior citizens require a lot of things. For example, you see now in a bus, most of the buses will have 2 seats reserved for senior citizens. It's not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah. Secondly, you go to a public toilet, there's no railing.
No railing.
So small things like this make a difference. And therefore, now we have been, engaging with the Director of Social Welfare. We are going to engage with Women and Child, Panchayats. Now we are even going to take to Panchayat in a Gram Sabha. You have the front seats reserved for senior citizens.
Very
we are
good,
going to
very,
propose
very,
that.
very good,
So that, senior citizens come participate. They should say, no, the Jogdi Kotta Mana Gara Basto. No, to boss for it. Because you have been in this village for so many years.
Of course.
Yeah. So it creates a sense of participation. It creates a sense of, respect. It's not that you will not have disputes and whatever, but seeing senior citizens sitting there in front, they will tend to, reduce the thing. So this campaign we are going to intensify from 1st of October, which is International Older Persons Day.
I see.
So we are giving a call to seniors now, come out. Like for example, road accidents are taking place. You can be a small help at as an ex-student of your school. Be a traffic warden. Get involved. So basically the point what we are saying, if you have more people participating in the system.
Basically participation.
Exactly. See, you may not able to first directly speak. Some people are a bit hesitant. So at least attend. We say attend first. Watch how it is. You feel comfortable, next time stand up and speak. But even your attendance will make a big difference.
Yeah, but see, one thing I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I've noticed in India that it's not that things don't get done, but there is a tendency of people not wanting to do the job, so they try to keep it under the carpet. And they try to create a psychosis among people. No, don't talk. It is society, it is family, it is this minister will say this. Actually, if it just comes beyond the topic, 90% of the issues get sorted out. Don't you think?
Yes, in fact, in many cases we found that people in the family,
they don't, don't
do.
No, why or simply you will get targeted.
So what we have started to do is that when there are ladies involved who are saying, we try to empower them, and if it's the other one, the husband says, "Arey, maji baal ye karta re, tu kirak besta," and many times we tell the students also, they said, "Arey, tu, don't ask too many questions in the market, to kid mon." I said, "What is that? It's your money."
Correct.
So basically, what we find happening is like, MRP, maximum retail price. It's becoming maximum rip-off price. So these are things, simple things we are saying, Baba, you start with saving your 1 rupee or 2 rupee. But, recently I had a nice campaign. We had a training for teachers. The teacher went back and spoke in a class that, don't take chocolates, you take coins. Some shopkeepers. So he went and he was giving him a chocolate. He said, I'm not taking. Said, every day you take. And he said, no, I know my rights now. And he stood up. He's 7th standard student. Jago, grahak, jago, he said. So that shopkeeper started saying, one of, I think it's Shishini, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. I think it's Shishini. So he wrote, his class teacher told him to write down what exactly happened, and that was shared to me. I said, this is fantastic.
Brilliant.
So little things like this, I went to a school, and normally we do program for middle school and high school. So one teacher said, sir, would you have spent time for the young? I said, and we all sat on the carpeted floor. We all sat in, it was like studio. And all these 4th standard students, they had done little posters on food, you know, and about MRP, and I was just amazed that, you know, it's not that we feel that kids will not learn. They are ready to pick up.
They pick up very fast, believe me.
And
Yes.
if they start doing this, I think we have a great future.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you.
Great future.
Yeah, because see, I have noticed one thing about say for example the developed countries
Yes.
and us.
Yes.
Their people stand up for their rights.
Yes.
They will stand up if somebody breaks the line, if somebody is trying to cheat you.
Yes, yes.
Whether it is one person or they don't care. There may
Yes.
be 100, but they will. Which is something I
Yeah.
have not
Yeah.
seen in. Forget Goa.
Yes.
Goa is supposed to be progressive. Is not seen at all.
Yeah.
Even in India, it's not seen. People do not stand up for their right.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
In fact, you know, you may have not noted, but today is World Tourism Day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yesterday and today. Yes.
Yeah. So today is 27 September. So
Yes.
I have been particular about this because tourists who come to Goa, they are also consumers.
Yes.
So today I was at the bus stand, Panjim bus stand. Now you see, very interesting. There is a board there which says Tourism Information Center, shop number 5. If you go to see, the shop is closed.
There's no shop.
No, the shop is locked. One small notice, and that is after we protested, they put a little notice. If you want any information, contact one landline number. But big boards there, still there, with saying, visit this shop. Now, what are we saying? Remove, no, if it doesn't exist.
See, you go to, forget about the tourists. Now you go to Miramar.
Yes.
You go to Miramar, walk around that full line right up, right up from Miramar. You walk down wherever you like Science Center. How many dustbins are there? Now you tell me. Now I have put, when I've eaten something, I put in my pocket, and how many tourists are going to do that?
Exactly.
So there are no dustbins. Nothing is there.
So simple thing like this, you know, people have rights. So for example, the bus stands, we have been.
There are no dustbins also on the bus.
So
There's
what we are
one
saying
big
now,
thing
we
there
have,
in the corner somewhere.
say KTC bus stand for example, we are pushing for activating of the complaint books at all bus stands.
All bus stand. Okay.
Secondly, the toilets. For example, now if you see in Panjim bus stand, there are 3 types of toilets and 3 rates. They are not not air conditioned or anything, but one fellow says 2 rupees, one fellow says 3, and one fellow says 5.
How?
No, because they have just permitted. So now the 5 rupees one is going to be removed. They have agreed to it. But you see, the point here is, it takes 5 minutes or 10 minutes of your time to go and just write it. So why we introduced the postcard system is, people say, "Arey, thoyo iche botta." But I say, okay, you write and drop it in the box. Now, importantly is to share information. What we also found is, people take the information and they don't share it. Now, why they don't share it? Because they are not very convinced that if they share it will work. So we have said, at least send it to 10 people. Okay, doesn't matter. Now, I was surprised, the story that you all did on the umbrellas on the bus, the number of people that sent it back to me.
Really?
Yes. And the other one, which was like just the umbrella.
That's a post.
Yeah. So that post, I thought, is a sign of the times, that people have realized, you know, and it's good. They say it's you, never mind. But the fact that you have picked it up and send it back to me, it means that you are also concerned.
But Roland, you'll be shocked
Yes.
at the calls I get. Somehow my number they
Yes.
get. They call me directly. They
Yes.
tell me, see this issue.
Yes.
Police are not listening. There's the parking issue.
Yes.
Roads. Hey, Baba, you complain to your MLA.
Yes,
You
yes.
complain to your panchayat. No use.
Yeah.
So then people are standing up to their rights.
But
They
one
don't know
thing,
where and how
the
to go.
moment
I guess.
the moment you talk of some politician, no, they say no, it will not work. So
Why?
No, because what
Because
they
you
feel,
vote for them every 5 years
yeah,
anyway.
but see, the voting and the issue, that disconnect is still there.
It's actually very bad.
Yeah. So what we have been saying, at least you report to the official.
Official.
Yes.
That's what we've also been saying.
So the departments, no. So now in the last meeting, day first it was in Margao. The collector we have requested to publicize all the grievance officers and not have one only in Panjim. We said one in South Goa, one in North Goa. So every Tuesday there will be a public grievance officer at a department from 10 to 1 o'clock.
Okay, now also I feel that the media also has, we highlight the issues,
Yes,
but that awareness to create, I don't think we have actually done a
so
good
one
enough. I think we
thing,
need to do this job.
So it's, you know, it's
because we have a huge reach.
Yes, and one thing is, maybe it can start in a very simple thing, like if you're doing a program on a specific issue, just at the end a scroll could be there, where the number or email ID or even the postal address of that concerned department would be highlighted. You see, people are watching. It's not that they're not watching your program. See, sometimes what happens when you are in your studio and like all the other media people, you don't know the reach. But I would say that if this little thing is carried, you'll get feedback.
Absolutely. I would tend to agree with you. We are, Roland, we are out of time.
Yes.
Completely. But we have to work on this, and I think people have to become more aware, come out, speak to, because ultimately these are the rights. These are your rights. You have duties. I know you cannot break things and whatever. But you have rights, and this is what you've paid for. This is what we pay our taxes for. Thank you, Roland.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This was a very, very interesting talk. Very important also, because we need, government puts in a lot of money to put in so much of infrastructure. It has to be maintained. We have to make the best use of it, because ultimately it is our money and it is for us to make use of. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thank you again, Roland.
Thank you.
And keep watching Goa365.